welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be another study video. So as you know from last week's video, I finished one of my final year exams, which was the situational judgment test, and yeah, that's done. We can forget about it. It's behind us, at least until results come out, which I think is around like February, March time roughly. Yeah, and obviously that exam wasn't that like clinically heavy, which meant that it wasn't like you didn't have to study as intensely as you had to for like other exams. Now we just need to focus on the next set of exams that are like scattered across this year. Oh yeah, and yeah, straight after that exam, this Friday, we went on a holiday, which was actually pretty sick. I was gonna vlog that, but actually let me put down the camera so I can talk about it. Yeah, so basically we had enough of all of this dead weather out here. You can see yourself how grey and gloomy this is. So we needed some sunshine, booked a spontaneous holiday to Alicante, Spain. I was gonna vlog that whole trip, but you know what, I just needed some like downtime just to chill, and I would have had to sacrifice that trip, or the fun of it, like at least part of it, like for filming, because it's just too difficult to do at the same time. It was only 2 days, but I did film almost all of it on the gram. So we stayed at this like Airbnb which had these huge windows, right? Or like the whole wall was kind of a window. I don't even know what to call it. And through those windows you could see like the sunrise, which was insane. And then what else did we do? We checked out the beach for a bit, walked around. That was nice. The weather was really nice as well. And then yeah, we had a little hammock, which was nice inside the Airbnb. We found a halal Burger King in Spain. Like I don't even know how that happens, but we found that, had a bit of food there, and then we came back home. So it was a 1.5, 2 day trip. It was nice. Hopefully next time when I do go on other trips, make it a bit longer, so at least I can dedicate some time to filming, and it'll be fun to for you guys to see what kind of things we do on a holiday. It's usually pretty fun. But now in terms of the plan, currently it's about 11 o'clock. So hopefully I'm going to try and get in about 7 to 8 hours of study, and the main aim now is to really kind of iron out all the clinical kind of knowledge gaps that I might have this year, because obviously in August I'm going to start working as a doctor, hopefully, if I pass the exams, which means that yeah, this is probably one of the last opportunities to try and like fix up the knowledge gaps. So I'm gonna talk about what strategy I'm gonna use for that when we get into uni. I also have a few like errands to run, and we'll see. You know, this is what I do. I just take the camera. We'll see where the day takes us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So the next thing we need to do is return some scrubs that we got for the A&E placements. So I've got these here, these ones. You can see that. Low key I wanted to keep it, but we have to return it. So yeah, I'm gonna put these where they belong. So they've given us these bags as well to dash them in. Right, if I'm walking around like this, I'm gonna look like a homeless kid, man. Now I just need to return the receipt saying that I've returned it to the university.
Yeah, is it a scrubs receipt?
Yes.
Yeah, cool, that's absolutely fine.
Alright, great, thank you. Just before we actually start working, I thought it would be a good idea to explain exactly what I'm going to be doing. So I mentioned earlier on that, I want to be ironing out all the issues, or they're not really issues, but more like, gaps in knowledge, right? What ends up happening is, as you go through the years, there are some things or some topics that you're just not as interested in, that you just can't be bothered to do, so you decide to skip them, but you might still do well in exams just because, they don't come up, or you can answer questions on them, but you don't necessarily understand the topic and you don't really know how to apply it. So that's what we're going to do now, go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. So there is something called the clinical priority list, or that's what our university calls it, and it's this document here from St. George's, which goes through all of the different topics or diseases, medical conditions that we need to know by the end of our final year. And there are about 400 of them. I printed out the first page of it just because we want to be eco-friendly and that. This is the first page of it, and I don't know if you can see this, but it starts off with the respiratory system, and then it prioritizes the clinical conditions from 1 to 3 based on how important they are and how well you need to know them. So all the ones that are in yellow are really important, you need to know them, or we need to know them. The ones that have red on the side, those are like medical emergencies or surgical emergencies that we also need to know really well how to manage. When it's a 1, it means that you need to understand everything about the condition when it comes to like pathophysiology, how the clinical signs present, how you investigate for the condition, how you manage. If it's a number 2, then you might know how to investigate for the condition, but you might not necessarily know how to manage. And the number 3 is really, you just need to know that they exist. That's about it. If you want to do really well, right, there might be some questions in the exam, or if we want to do well, because obviously different universities do it in different ways, but if we want to do really well, then we'd learn the 3s as well, and everything about them, so that when the questions come up on these third priority topics, then we can answer them too. And usually those questions are known as the differentiators, right? So there are some questions that most people will get right, there are some questions that a lot of people will get right, and there are some questions that only the top kind of students will get, and it's ordered to differentiate the top students from the non-top students. Obviously, this year, it doesn't really matter how we do in this exam. It counts, you just need to pass it, or we need to pass it. So I'm literally going to be working now from the mindset of, I want to be a good doctor. I want to be competent when I'm working on the wards, in the hospital, in the GP practice. I want to be able to deal with everything that comes my way, and that is the perspective I'm going to go from, not the perspective of, okay, I want to get 100% in this exam, I want to get 80%. That's irrelevant at this stage because it doesn't even matter anyway. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to go through this clinical priority list, each condition, and hopefully by the end of the next few months, we will be ready for the exam and we will be ready to work on the front line. All right, now, so let's just cut back to the library scene now.
I still see your shadows in my room. I can't take back the love that I gave you. It's to the point where I love and I hate you, and I cannot change you, so I must replace you. Easier said than done. I thought you were the one listening to my heart instead of my head. You found another one, but I'm the better one. Won't let you forget me. I still see your shadows in my room. I can't take back the love that I gave you. It's to the point where I love and I hate you, and I cannot change you, so I must replace you. Easier said than done. I thought you were the one listening to my heart instead of my head. You found another one, but I'm the better one. Won't let you forget me. You left me falling and landing inside my grave. I know that you want me dead. I take prescriptions to make me feel A-okay. I know it's all in my head. I have these lucid dreams where I can't move a thing, thinking of...
All right, okay, so the time is now 3:45. and we have done some work. Actually, it's been decent. Just as you could see in that last couple shots, I did a little screen recording as well, so you could see how I was doing things. I'm starting off with the very first kind of points on that clinical priority list. We've got some snacks here. Yeah, so I started off with the first few points on the clinical priority list. The first thing was asthma, and I'm not going over it like really comprehensively, just the stuff that I know is important, because obviously we've been doing this for a while now. It has been like 6 years at uni and like a couple of years at med school, so you cannot know what's important, what's not important. So I've just quickly just collated some of the important aspects of asthma management and diagnosis and all of that stuff into my OneNote document. That's pretty much it. Now I think we have a couple more hours. I think a good day today would be like another 2 topics, starting off a bit with a slower pace, because we obviously have a couple of months left for the following set of big exams. Now I'm just gonna sit down and eat and just enjoy this. I've got some pasta, some watermelons, and like a jug of milk. Yeah, I like drinking milk, so It is currently 6:25, so yeah, time passes quickly when you're working. What have we done so far? So initially in the morning we did asthma topic. Oh, look what a coincidence. Look what we've got here. Got a little peak flow. Literally, this was not planned. Complete coincidence. I would have tried it now, but I don't have the mouthpiece, and I stay hygienic like that, you know what I'm saying? So we'll put that to the side. Now, for the last like 2 hours, I've been doing COPD, and we finished that topic. So we're like, I think we're fairly on track. I could probably, okay, so now that it's like 6:30, I could probably bang out maybe 1 or 2 more topics from that clinical priority list. I mean, to be fair, right? This might seem like I'm doing it very quickly. At this stage, we already know most of the stuff. I already have like a sense of self-awareness when it comes to knowing what stuff I already know, what stuff I skipped, what stuff I didn't do properly when I initially went through it. So a lot of this stuff, right, you'll just learn while you're working. Just naturally you pick it up by all kinds of osmosis on diffusion. So the knowledge goes. Okay, this is how it works, right? Let's give a quick analogy. The knowledge will go from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. The area of high concentration will be your senior colleagues, the consultants and the specialist trainees. That is where all of the knowledge is concentrated. And the knowledge will then slowly diffuse to an area of low concentration. No, okay, that's a wrong way to put it. From an area of high clinical experience to an area of lower clinical experience. The knowledge will just diffuse. Yeah, just waves. You know what I'm saying? Now, for the next 2 hours, I'm gonna go through the next topic, I think, which is respiratory failure, and I think I know most of that already. So we're just gonna whiz through that, and then I don't know what comes after that, but let's go and see what's going on. I'm sitting here waiting to be interviewed with all of these chairs lined up like this. Okay, let's just sit here for some symmetry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think I'm right in the middle. All right. Okay, so quick update now. So what's going on? It is roughly 8 o'clock now, and I finished those 2 topics. So pulmonary embolisms and respiratory failure. So we've done both of them. Basically now I'm debating whether to go home or whether to stay for a bit. I'm definitely not gonna make any more notes or go over new topics because I'm just bun this. I'm too tired right now. All right, I can't be asked anymore. I feel bored. Could potentially do some questions, so like some past med questions. That's an option. I've already been here for like 9 hours, 8 hours. I'm gonna stay for another half an hour at least, just to do some questions. Doing questions is a bit more fun as well, I think. So yeah, let's do that. Try and make this as productive as possible. And then I've got placement tomorrow, starting from 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's like a late shift. So I'm gonna go to that, which also means that I can sleep later today and hopefully edit this video and get it up ASAP. But yeah, I think that sounds like a plan. Let's do that. Another half an hour to an hour of just past med questions. Bust through them once and let's go. People, so I think we should end the video here. At the moment it's about 9 o'clock, and yeah, so I did some questions for about half an hour, just chilled for another half an hour, and yeah, it's been a fairly productive day, I would say. I mean, we got a lot done. I think about 4 topics, did some questions, 7 to 8 hours of study. So yeah, now I'm just gonna go home, go to sleep, edit the video maybe, and we'll see where the rest of the week takes us, to be honest. All right, if you like the video, then like the video, comment, like, subscribe, follow me on the gram. I'm quite active on that as well, and yeah, safe.